Hello and welcome to day 19 of your natural breathing challenge. Today we are going to be going through a breathing retraining practice really focused on reducing any tendencies to over breathe. Around this point of your natural breathing journey, you've probably found you can connect into your diaphragm with a little bit more ease. You've been slowing the breath down with a pause at the end sometimes. It's okay. I don't expect perfection. There's no such thing. That's why I always say to be kind to yourself. But you're probably finding you still notice these urges to take bigger breaths are coming up, and it can be a bit of a balance to know which ones do I need to swallow, let go, breathe out and melt. And actually, what do I do if that urge just comes on so fast, or I'm breathing really big? How do I breathe softly? So I'm going to break it down for you today through guiding you through your breathing retraining practice. I'd encourage you to get yourself into a comfortable position for today, whether you want to do that sitting at your desk, sitting at the edge of a bed, lying down in bed, lying on the couch, lying on a mat. The beautiful thing with being a human is that you are unique, and where your body needs to be in the moment is unique to you. If you're just starting out with your breathing retraining journey, I would encourage you to opt for more of a lying down position with your knees bent or lying on your belly. If you've been practicing your breathing for a while, then you can absolutely meet yourself in more of a sitting position today. I'm going to be lying, and we're both going to take a moment to get comfortable. Using feedback on your belly if you wish, a wheat pack, a rice pack, or a book will do the trick. And just finding stillness in your chosen position. Good. Feeling your feet and your heels grounded to the surface beneath it. Coming into any position that helps you connect in to your diaphragm breathing, whether your hands are above your head or placed either sides of your lower ribs. Now, the first sign of overbreathing we are going to cover is when the breathing rate is very fast. So just taking a moment to check in with your breathing rate, noticing if there is a pause at the end of the breath out. Good. You might find that the belly rises straight away to breathe back in again, or it feels a little bit jumpy and uncomfortable in the pause. If you find it uncomfortable to hold the pause for a moment, that's a sign that you're going to focus on practicing that today. Because what it means is that you tend to overbreathe by breathing quite fast, a fast breathing rate. And your breathing center, a region in your brain, has become habituated to that. It's become a habit. So we're taking this moment to retrain a new habit of slow breathing. If you find that the pause is getting a lot more comfortable now, then continue to sink and find stillness in that pause. The next sign of overbreathing, a very common one at around this point, is breathing too big. I want you to imagine right now that you've got two balloons. Imagining in your mind a small balloon and then a big balloon, one that's blown up around 1/3 of the way, and then one that's fully blown up. Lovely. Now, often when we are over breathing, we are breathing in a big volume of air, a big balloon of air. And that can actually increase air hunger and dysfunctional breathing patterns. So what we're going to notice now is how big is my balloon? Maybe you find you breathe into your diaphragm and then it keeps expanding quite big into your upper chest. Or maybe you notice that a strong urge to take a big upper chest breath comes on. Or maybe you notice your breath is quite noisy. Often when we breathe noisy, we breathe quite a big balloon. Now, if any of those things resonate, often it's quite common that we're just simply breathing in too much. I want you to see now how it would feel if you breathe a little bit softer and smaller, placing your hands to the side of your lower ribs for some feedback, finding expansion as you breathe in, putting a little bit of feedback on the lower ribs if you need, where you press into the sides of your lower ribs and down if that's helpful. Good. As you breathe back in at your own time, breathing in to the sides, front, but a little bit less. Well done. Then letting it go. Good. Swallow. There'll be a little bit of air hunger because remember, if this is a sign of over-breathing for you, your body's used to breathing a big balloon and now you're breathing a smaller balloon of air. That's what we call efficient breathing because we're not breathing more than we need to be when we're resting. Okay, so if you notice that actually you're breathing quite a big balloon for the next part of the practice soon, I want you to pay more attention towards breathing a smaller balloon. Take it in steps. Your breathing center in your brain and your breathing pattern in general has been conditioned to breathing a bigger volume. So I wouldn't expect you to go straight from this to a small breath. Okay? Take it in steps. You may wish to practice softer breathing and smaller breathing. Swallow. Air hunger is your friend, not a threat. It's just a sign your body's recalibrating to slow breathing. Recalibrating carbon dioxide levels, which is an amazing thing. And then your body's going to need a little bit of a reset, okay? So that's when sometimes those big urges to take a big gulp come on, right? So if you notice you need to take a bigger breath or a yawn or a big catch-up breath, I call it, can you take it like more staggered? I want you to imagine that you're breathing slowly up a staircase. Stagger. And then you're going down the elevator slowly. Good. What we're not doing is we're not like a pocket rocket. A rocket taking off and then hooning back down, okay? So I'll go through that one more time. If you notice those urges to take a big breath or a big volume of air come on quite fast, because it can, can't it? It can come on quite fast. Now, it's okay if you don't swallow and breathe out and melt every single time. Sometimes it might be more helpful to just recognize, oh, it's a bigger breath I need to take. Stagger it slowly up the stairs. Good. And then slowly going down the elevator as you breathe out and your tummy lets go. Swallow. If you find that helpful, well done. Versus in, up like a pocket rocket, and then zooming back down, okay? Because if we do the pocket rocket zooming big breath, that's just us compensating. But if we imagine that catch-up breath, even if it's a bit bigger, Just taking it a little bit quieter and slower up staircase, and then letting it go. Imagining you're going down in an elevator. As you go down, tension from the face, the chest, and then the belly. Let's go. Slow the breath. Well done. So by now you'll have a little bit more clarity about what's your over-breathing tendency. You know, for me, I was a yawner. I would just keep feeling these urges to yawn. That was my massive over-breathing tendency. So instead of yawning, what I would do instead is I would just focus on the breath out, and then my next breath in, instead of trying to gulp it in, I would take it slower in through my nose, like I'm going up the staircase, and then letting it go in my body like the elevator, melting my face, the chest, and then I would always slow my breath. I'd find a pause at the end of the breath out, because that starts to create more balance in the body, okay? Meeting me in stillness here, really connecting your body into where it needs to be right now. And I want you to make a kind choice on what part of your breathing you're going to practice right now. Whether it's finding the pause, a softer volume, or taking those urges, those catch-up bigger breaths, a little bit softer, like a staircase up, and then an elevator as the body lets go. And then just like an elevator pauses at the bottom, so does the breath at the end of the breath out. And then connecting back into diaphragm. Lovely. Either practicing one of those components or all of them within harmony. And as you do so, I'm just going to prompt and ground you back into your body at the same time. Noticing connection of your feet and heels grounded on the floor. Noticing that connection of your hips, letting go. Connection of the upper body and head and the pressures grounding you into the surface beneath you. Connecting back in with your intention in the breath. Maybe you found that as your mind was gazing to different parts of your body, that your breath started to speed back up or started to get more big. Or maybe it kept nice and steady. Just kindly reconnect. Swallow if you need. Let any tension go in the chest as you breathe out quiet. Find stillness at the end. Noticing any tension wash away in the eyebrows. The jaw softening. And arms letting go. Letting go. Trust. And ease. Releasing perfection. Releasing perfection in the breath, perfection in the body. Embracing the fluctuations and changes with kindness as you soften. and let go. Thank you for joining me for your breathing retraining practice. I hope this gives a lot more context as to what overbreathing may show up as at this point of your journey, and some practical tips to help you practice reducing overbreathing habits. The key thing from now is consistency. Is checking into that sign of overbreathing that you've noticed today and doing so very regularly with kindness during your day. When you're on your phone, slow the breath down. When you're in a social environment, can you connect in to your diaphragm breath with less pressure and push and just more ease? When you're watching TV, can you let tension go from your body? Slow the breath using some feedback on your hands to breathe back into diaphragm. Release perfection. Embrace the variations in the breath and body, and trust that you have this ability to come back to breath slowing down, to the diaphragm, and then letting it go. Trust that. You've got this.